Okay, so next we moving on the dynamic formula. So dynamic pile formula also useful in estimating the pile capacity. So the load carrying capacity of a driven pile can be estimated from the resistance against the penetration developed during the pile driving operation. So these methods gives fairly good results only in the case of free draining sand and hard clays in which high pore water pressure does not develop during the driving of the piles. So in a saturated fine grain soils, the high pore water pressure develops during the driving operation and the strength of the soil is considerably changed and the methods does not give reliable results. So the dynamic methods cannot be used for submerged uniform fine sands, which may be loose enough to become quick temporarily and so much less resistance. So dynamic formula are based on assumption that the kinematic energy delivered by the hammer during the drive operation is equal to the work done in a penetrating the pipe. So the kinetic energy delivered is equal to work done in penetration. So the equation is equal to R multiplied by S plus energy losses is equal to WH eta H. So W is equal to weight of hammer, H is equal to height of fall hammer, R is equal to pile resistance taken equal to QU, and S is equal to penetration of pile per blow. So energy losses include those due to elastic compression of pile, soil, pile cap, and cushions and due to heat generation. So very dynamic formulas are engineering's new news record, which is known as the ENR formula, Heidi's formula, and Dennis formula. So in engineering news record formula, the which is proposed by Willington, editor of American Journal Engineering News, is the simplest and the most popular of the dynamic formula. And the equation of allowable load is QA is equal to WH divided by F in bracket S plus C, where QA is equal to allowable load, W is equal to weight of hammer, H is equal to height of fall of hammer, and F is equal to factor of 60, which is taken as a 6. S is equal to penetration per blow, and C is equal to empirical constant. So in this equation, H, S, and C should be in the same units. So the units of QA will be those of W. So the value of C taken as 25 mm for the drop hammer and 2.5 mm for single and double acting steam hammer, right? So for drop hammers, QA equation is equal to WS divided by 6 into bracket S plus 25. For single acting steam hammer, QA is equal to WH divided by 6 in bracket S plus 2.5. For double acting steam hammers, QA equation is equal to W plus AP into H divided by 6 S plus 25. Sorry, S plus 2.5. Where E is equal to effective area of piston and P is equal to main effective steam pressure. For Hiley's formula, QU is equal to WH eta H eta B divided by S plus C by 2. So where QU is equal to ultimate load on pile, W is equal to weight of hammer, and H is equal to height of fall of hammer. So C is total elastic compression is equal to C1 plus C2 plus C3. Eta H is equal to efficiency of hammer, and S is equal to average settlement per blow, right? So for drop hammer, eta H is equal to 100%. For single acting steam hammer, eta H is equal to 75 to 85%. For double acting steam hammer, eta H is equal to 85%. So when the W which is greater than EP, so the equation of eta B is equal to W plus E square P divided by WP. When E which is less than EP, so the eta B equation is W plus E square P divided by WP minus in bracket W minus EP divided by W plus P whole square, where P is equal to weight of pile, helmet and followers, and is equal to coefficient of restitution, right? So C1 is a temporary elastic compression of dolly or helmet and packing, which is equal to 1.77 QU by A when driving is without dolly, and when the driving is with short dolly, it's 9.05 QU divided by A. Now C2 is equal to temporary elastic compression of pile. The equation of C2 is equal to 0.657 QU into L divided by A. C3 is equal to temporary elastic compression of soil, which is equal to 3.55 QU divided by A, where L is equal to length of pile in meters, A is equal to area of cross section of pile. So third formula is the Danish formula. So according to Danish formula, QU is equal to WH eta H divided by S plus S 0 by 2. S0 is equal to elastic compression of pile and S0 is equal to 2 eta H WHL divided by AE whole raised to 1 half. Then L is equal to length of pile, E is equal to area of cross section of pile, E is equal to modulus of elasticity of pile material. So allowable load equation QA is equal to QU divided by F and take factor of safety is equal to 3. So penetration test data, the result of static cone penetration test and standard penetration test are used to determine the load carrying capacity of pile. So the standard penetration test SPT, the load carrying capacity of pile can be estimated from the this SPT value, which is N. So for driven piles in sand, QP is related to uncorrected blow count N as per Meyerhoff in 1976. So QP equation is 40 N into D by B, which is less than or equal to 400 Newton, where QP is equal to point resistance, P is equal to length of pile, B is equal to width of pile, N is equal to SPT value at the tip of the pile, right? So N bar is equal to average uncorrected N values along the length of the pipe. For board pile in sand, QP equation is equal to 14 and in bracket dB by B kilogram per meter square. So dB is equal to actual penetration in a granular soil. So frictional resistance is given by Fs is equal to 0.67 N bar kilogram per meter square. So second is static cone penetration test SCPT. So in case of this test, at 60-degree cone with a base of 100 mm square attached to one end of the rod housed in a pipe, and pipe itself are pushed down alternatively at a slow constant rate, and the resistance encountered by cone and sleeve are recorded by means of pressure gauges. The pressure offered by a cone is recorded as a static cone penetration resistance QC. So this offered by a pipe at static skin friction resistance FC. So this Meyerhoff relates the unit point resistance and the skin friction of the driven pile to cone resistance. So the point resistance equation QP is equal to QC by 10 in bracket dB by B. So for unit skin friction, Fs is equal to QC by 200 for dense sand, Fs is equal to QC by 400 for loose sand, and Fs is equal to QC by 150 for silt. So according to the 2911 part 1 2010 recommended the following correlations for piles in non-cohesive soil. So depends on the type of soils, the local site friction Fs is also different. So there are clays and peats, clays, acidic clay, silty sands, only sands, coarse sands, and gravels, right? So next is a pile load test. So pile load test is the most reliable method of determining the load carrying capacity of a pile. So this test is very useful for cohesionless soil. So in the case of cohesive soils, the data from the pile load test should be used with the caution on the account of disturbance due to a pile driving, development of pore water pressure, and the inadequate time allowed for consolidation settlement. So there are three types of test, which is vertical load test, lateral load test, and pull out test. So generally, a vertical load test is carried out to establish load settlement relationship under the compression and determine the load on the pipe. So other two types of the test are maybe carried only when the piles are required to resist large lateral loads and uplift loads, right? So the two categories of test on piles, namely initial test and routine test, are usually carried out for each type of loading. An initial test should be carried out on a test pile to estimate the allowable load or to predict the settlement at a working load. So this test is carried out in case of important and major projects. Routine test is carried out as a check on a working piles to determine the safe load of the pile and to access the displacement corresponding to the working load. So in case specific information about the subsoil strata, past experience is lacking for a sizable work involving more than 200 piles, there should be a minimum of 2 initial takes. So for the routine takes, minimum number of takes should be a half percentage of the pile used. So the number of takes to be conducted may vary up to 2% or more, depending upon the nature of soil strata and the importance of the structure. So test pile is a pile where it is meant for initial test and does not carry the load of the superstructure. Minimum test load on such pile should be twice the safe load calculated using a static formula or load at which the total settlement attains a value of 10% of pile diameter in case of a single pile and 40 in case of pile group. So working pile is a pile which is driven or cast in situ along with other piles to carry load from the superstructure, and it forms the part of foundation of a structural system and maybe for the routine test.